Okay, I'm going to try and walk through a demo of what we've put together here as an example. Um, so I haven't used that much so far, so bear with me. So we have this customer portal thing, and I did this just as an easy way to get data into the system. And I haven't wired up anything for Zello or WhatsApp yet, but I have made a kind of a mock-up email and a mock-up web form. So let me take you into the web form first of all. And the idea here is this is the sort of thing where it would be a form which might be customized for the customer, or it might be a general form. But on this example, I'm logging in as this guy Marco from Tuscan Stone over in Italy, and he wants some stuff shipped. So we'll log in as him. And he hasn't got any inquiries on the system at the moment. So he's going to hit this new inquiry button and he gets a form, which, maybe he's a form filling kind of guy. Maybe he's not. If he is, then this would be suitable for him. And for demo purposes only, I've put these buttons up here, which you can press to pre-fill the form with the sort of information that he might put in. And in this one, we've got an origin, we have a destination, we have some bits of detail about the shipment. We've got a suggested HS code, an Incoterm, etc., etc. But I'm just gonna come back out of that one. Click the back button, and I'm going to make a new inquiry. And no, come back out of that one. In fact, let me come to the beginning. I'm going to go to the email form and just show you the equivalent if it was being done by email. So the example here is this would be a customer who just jumps on their email, fires off an email to you and says, I need to ship something from A to B. So similarly, we've got these buttons. We can hit that one to fill it in. All the usual email sort of stuff, and he's put in some details in the email. You can have a look at the system when I make it live, so you can look at this in detail. And we will send the email. And that's it, it's gone off to you. And then using a monitor in the system, which if he had a front-end login, he would be able to see this. If he was only communicating by email, he wouldn't be able to see it. But this is saying that the status of his request is currently in processing, and what that means is that the AI in the background is checking through all the details, figuring out the shipping stages, looking to see if Incoterms have been applied, and if not, figuring out what the Incoterms could be, figuring out if the HS codes have been applied, and if not, working out what they could be, and building up responses for any data that might be missing that it thinks is important. So the AI is kind of doing all that stuff now. Let me just refresh that to see. Okay, so the AI has finished doing all that stuff. We have a review and confirm step for our friend over in Italy. And so this is basically now saying, look, this is what we think you've asked for. We've confirmed that we think this is the correct HS code. We've used the Incoterm that you suggested, but of course, at this point, he could select different things if he wants to. And then it said there's a few details missing. So the exact delivery address, I don't know what that would be, so I'll just fill in some garbage there. The ship ready date, so let's say that's going to be the 29th April 2026. Insurance requirements, yes, he wants us to arrange insurance. Import license requirements, he doesn't have one. Consignee details, we'll just whatever, some garbage. So basically the LLM has generated this set of questions based on what it felt was missing from his original request. And obviously I'll show you what happens in the back end, because you obviously get the opportunity to to look at those and submit them back to him or not. So that's gone ready for review now, and that's our friend Marco done. So let's now pretend to be you. We'll go to the back office system. So we are now Mr. Jan. We're going to log in. And we can see in the back office system, we've got one request which is ready for review. That's come in from someone in Italy. And we can look at this and we can see all the details of the request, including the responses to information that was missing. We have the missing info form, and now we can see that all of these items have been answered. Now, what would have happened if you were looking at this, you would have seen this appear, and there are certain limitations in the system where it will stop and it will ask you, is it okay to send this back to the customer, or it will just go ahead and did it as it did in this particular case. So we've got all the answers back to our questions, and then it's worked out the service stages. So we've got the collection, we've got the export customs clearance, origin port handling, etc., etc. So it's got the entire journey mapped out down there. The thing is, it doesn't have quotes in for any of these things yet, but what it has also done is prepared RFQs for people using your spreadsheet, the one you sent me. I just uploaded that spreadsheet. I'll show you that in a moment. So we uploaded the spreadsheet, and it's used that spreadsheet to find potential partners in the area where they might be used, and it's prepared these various requests for quotations, and being as this is only a demo, I've disabled the send button, so we can't actually send these, but the idea would be that we would send these out to all of the partners. You'd review them, you send them out to the partners, you get responses back, and once you've got all those responses back in, then these service stages would all be complete and ready to approve. And of course we can add stages here, and the other thing that's useful is that within this section, if you make any changes, if you, for example, remove or add stages, or if you modify the text of any of these stages, it's going to start recording that as memories, and it'll think to itself, well, the user had had to make some changes to what I suggested, so I'm going to record that as something that I will try and do better next time. And that's the aspect of the AI starting to learn things. But now I'm going to approve that, switches it to approved. And if we come back to the beginning, how do we get back to being Mr. Yan? Let's come to the, where are we? Not Mr. Yan, Mr. Marco. We come back to here, and on his login, we can see he's now seeing his job as approved, which means it's all happening, and we'd probably want to communicate more with him at this stage about getting paid or something like like that. Let's come back to the back office. We'll log in as you again. And on the menu here, we have a couple of things to look at. So first of all, we've got the list of suppliers. So this is imported from your spreadsheet, and obviously we could import the other two spreadsheets as well. So there's a lot of suppliers in there. And what I've asked it to do is set only one provider in each location as a preferred provider. And I've just done this at random because I have no idea what your preferred providers are. And then others at various random sets of preferability. So we've got, a void down here for supercargo service. I don't know, they may be your best pals, but I don't know. And so it uses those gradings to decide which providers to use when it sends out RFQs. What else do we have here? Oh, service stages. So this is a set of standard service stages that the AI looks at and will choose from when it goes to when it goes to build the routing for any particular job. And of course, you can add stages to here and remove stages and enable them and disable them and stuff like that, which I thought would probably be quite useful. Let me see. And oh, and then finally the knowledge base. Now we don't have anything in the knowledge base at the moment, but if I was to make changes, or I mean, I could just simply add in items and type in things like if anyone's sending anything to Vietnam, then they have to go through a particular process, whatever that might be. And this is this is all going to get entered into what's called a vector database, where the LLM, when it's building up the routing and the RFQing, it will be able to look at this and intelligently work out if it's making sound decisions. So yeah, that's basically it for the moment. Hope that's looking reasonable and the kind of thing that, well, hoping I'm on the right track, really, I suppose.